Morning! So, while Ria's away at work and I'm back in Worcestershire, I have a project that I need to do. So, a few weeks ago we bought ourselves an electric bike, as you've seen in our previous videos, and that has been great. It helped Ria to get around. She's gone to see her family in Northampton, so that has been perfect. However, right now it is stored on the stern. And we've got a cruiser stern, which is great, but also it is sat on top of our engine bay, so I can't access it without removing the bike. What I have been doing, I have been researching into bike racks, and bike racks especially on boats. A lot of people I've seen have taken a tow hitch, bolted that to their boat, but unfortunately we don't have the room to do that without it getting in the way of our tiller. So what I have done, I have gone through a lot of research and I have bought some metal. And here is the product of a few weeks of research. We've got two strips of 90-degree angle with an aluminium tread strip and a square, well, will be a square welded frame that will be able to bolt to the back of our boat. We have a ramp that will be able to attach to either side of the bike rack, so no matter where the towpath is, we can get the bike on. But first, what we need to do is weld this frame into a square. I personally don't know how to weld, but my dad does. My dad has a TIG welder, so we're going to try today and see if we can weld this frame together. And once that's welded, that's all the big welds need to be done. I can bolt everything else together and then bolt it to the boat. So we just need to get these bits of metal cut, welded into a perfect square, and then that's it. We will have to bolt everything together, paint everything, and make sure that it's not going to rust, because I bought mild steel, so it's strong and it's sturdy enough to hold the bike, and it's not going to crumble if anything happens, if anything hits the back of it on the back of our boat. And the good thing is I have planned this out to a T, that this will not extend further than our button on the stern, but we'll also add a fender onto this and some rubber to stop any bits of metal going into any other boat or whatever happens. And because it's all bolted together, it can be removed whenever we need to. So just need to cut these bits of metal to size and weld. So let's go. So I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to cut these and how we're going to weld them together. I initially thought cut them 45 degrees, weld them that way, but then if I needed to route any cables through it for like the nav lights or anything on the stern, I wouldn't have access. So I think I'm just going to cut to slightly shorter, about 80mm shorter, and then butt joint them so then I have access through the steel. Just need to cut them down. So let's do that. Yes. Whoop. One chunk done. One more to cut. Yes! That has taken me an hour to cut through that with a hacksaw. At least that's all the cuts I need to do now. So, there we go. I was able to cut these two pieces 80mm shorter than the other two. I'm just going to butt joint each corner, because then that allows me to have access through here to get to bolts and nuts and everything, and I'll buy some end caps for that. For that, it's all the cutting I am doing. Roll on welding. This could only go well. Hello, I'm back on the boat, and unfortunately after a few hours of trying to weld it, my dad's welder wasn't up for the job. So luckily my sister's boyfriend knows a guy, and we've been able to get it welded by a nice man called Dave. So we've got it all welded up. Now, the next thing I need to do, I need to drill, I'm going to drill 4 holes for the bolts on this side to then attach to the back of the boat. Once I've drilled those holes, I'm going to go out and remove anything from the back of the boat that will be in the way of this. Once I've got all that ready, I will drill back through these holes into the back so it is perfectly centered. And once I've done that, I can secure the rack to it using bolts, and then I'll have that all sorted. But I think I'm just going to build it first. Once it's all built and attached, I'll then take it all apart, paint it, and then reinstall it. But yeah, it's a bit of a rainy day. I'm inside on the stern, so I'll sort that out while it's raining, and hopefully once it stops I can then install it and check that everything fits. So yeah, that's my plan for today, and hopefully I get it done because this video needs to be uploaded. Now, I've got to move all of this stuff. So now I have access to the rivets and everything that I just need to drill out. They're just here, so I just need to drill those out and then it should sit flush, hopefully. One removed. So, centre is there. I don't need to remove that one. Just don't need to use those 2. Just these 4 here. Just those 4. And then there's some screws here that I need to remove. Yeah. Just those 4. Right, so we have the metal bar here. We just need to find the centre and then try and make the centre match. What I need to do is drill some pilot holes and then get them going. So I think I might go to B&Q now, see if I can find some rubber that can just go under here. If I can find some, like a rubber sheet or a rubber mat that I can cut and use. A bit of rubber like this. I can literally just sit under, and then that protects this from the metal touching to metal. So I think let's go to B&Q, get some Hammerite paint for this, get some rubber, come back, mark, drill, bolt it on, and then the next step is actually the rack. So yeah, let's go to B&Q. So that trip to B&Q didn't go as planned. I've been able to buy some Hammerite and some assortment of plumber's washers, which has some rubber washers that I can use. Luckily the sun is out, but now I'm going to have to work out how I'm going to use these washers to hold it up while I drill some holes. We'll see, shall we? Let's go! Nice. Bolts are in and go all the way through. Perfect. What I need now actually to have some M8 washers. So on this side I'm going to have them go through washers just to make it more secure. Make sure it doesn't cause any issues with the bolt heads. Right, let's bolt this on and then start working on the actual rack. Let's go. So this should now be rock solid and I can stand on it. Look at that. It's bolted in. It's resting on most of it. So essentially it's just over half, so there's less pressure on those bolts. It's more of a shear force. And that is solid. Now, what we need to do is build the rack. So, sorry I didn't film this, but I have now drilled all the holes for the rivets, drilled the holes for the bolts that go straight through into the actual frame, and now I need to drill some holes in the frame so I can access these two on the inside, because the other two have the hole just like here. So I need to do something like this. I'm probably going to do it on the outside just so I can have easier access and I won't drop the bolts and the nuts when I'm doing it. Yeah, it's coming along nicely. Now I've got an access hole to this side and another access hole to this side. So now I can paint all of this, paint the track, and in the next video I will install it and we'll give it a good test. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified whenever we post. It really does help us out. And yes, we'll see you in part 2. Look how grubby my hands are. Part 2 of the custom Narrowboat bike rack. See you later. Bye.